Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Abdulaziz Nazi, and today we're going to work on some vocab and grammar, Unit 5, Traveler 6, page 58-59. So, the first part of the lesson for today is about vocabulary, guys. So, the first one, adjectives plus preposition. But before we start explaining how to put adjectives plus preposition, we need to check the aim for this lesson, which is to raise students' awareness of adjectives followed by prepositions. So the adjectives, what are they? They are words that modify nouns or describe nouns. So, for example, the happy cat ran. So, happy is the adjective and cat is the noun. So, the happy cat, so which means the cat is happy. So, the adjective is describe the noun. Now, examples, big, small, smart, etc. I have a big house. I have a big house. My brother is sad. All these are what? Adjectives. So to describe or modify the nouns. Now let's check the prepositions. Prepositions are words such as like of, on, in, at, from. So these usually come after the adjective. بالعادة تجي خلف الصفة. So adjective صفة, prepositions نسميها في اللغة العربية حروف الجر. طيب, is there any rule to follow in order to put adjective and preposition together? Actually, unfortunately, no, because it's not a grammar, it's vocabulary, guys. So you have to learn them by heart. So the more you practice, the more you will master adjectives plus preposition. Expressions with come. So the second part of the vocabulary, guys, is expressions with come. So aim is to introduce the meaning of expressions with the word come. So the word come itself, it has a meaning, but when it comes in a context, it has different meaning. So you have to be careful while you're reading to figure out the meaning of the word come. So example, we need to come to terms with a few truths. So here, which means to accept something, Okay, so come to terms is to accept something. So you have to be very careful when you're reading, because the meaning might change in the context. So here it won't give you a literal meaning, guys. ما تعطيك معنى حرفي، لازم تكون حذر وانت تقرأ النص حتى تستكشف المعنى. الidioms. Again, idioms are words with a special meaning and they don't give a literal meaning. So هذه أيضا مصطلحات أو تعابير تستخدم في اللغة الإنجليزية ما تعطيك المعنى الحرفي. مثلا a piece of cake. ترجمتها حرفيا قطعة من الكيك. So if you said the math test was a piece of cake, يعني اختبار الرياضيات كان قطعة من الكيك, it doesn't make sense, غير منطقية. فهنا نجي للمعنى الغير الحرفي اللي هو metaphorical meaning. So piece of cake means here what? Easy, very easy. Again, break a leg. So الحرفي يختلف, totally different than the metaphorical meaning. So I have a soccer match. I'm telling my friend, I have a soccer match tomorrow. Well, go break a leg. So mean best of luck. Cost an arm and leg. So here, again, the literal meaning is different than the actual meaning. So here it means what? Pricey, costs a lot of money. So for example, I have bought a car and it costed me an arm and leg. So كلفتني الكثير من المال. Now, let's move to the to the book to check the examples. So, complete the sentences below with the missing preposition. If you're not sure, look back at the text on page 57. So this part is extracted from the previous lesson, which is reading. So you know, at that lesson we talked about how to read for jest and how to read for details. So here, humans are different space rats because they are a bit more complicated. Despite the fact that we are familiar, space what makes us feel good. So here the answer would be ايش يا شباب؟ the answer here would be different from. So if you're not sure, you can go back to the text and then check. Again, despite the fact that we are familiar with what makes us feel good. Now let's move to the question here. B, complete the sentences with the preposition in the box with, of, about. So we have 3 prepositions here. We need to use them in order to complete the sentences here. So with, of, and about. Again, there is no rule to follow, guys. ما في قاعدة محددة لها. تتطلب الموضوع منك إنه إيش؟ ممارسة واستخدام. The more you practice, you will master these prepositions. So let's check the first one. Margaret is really proud, space, her son, because he won the school championship. So here the answer would be what? Proud of her son. Proud of her son. I'm really nervous, So my interview tomorrow. So here the answer is about. I'm really nervous about my interview tomorrow. Number 3, when his little sister was born, Brad was very jealous, space, all the attention that was given to her, of all the attention that was given to her. Number 4, I'm not familiar with this procedure. Could you please explain it to me? Number 5, Albert was very pleased, space, his exam results. So here the answer with his exam result. Number 6, are you angry, space, with me for some reason? You haven't spoken to me at all. With. Number 7, I'm ashamed, space, myself for spending so much money on a dress. I'm ashamed of myself for spending too much money on a dress. Number 8, I didn't think Paul was capable of looking after the children on his own, but he was able to manage without me. Number 9, Omar is very conscious, space, the scar he has on his face. So here of the scars he has on his face. Number 10, young children are curious, space, everything they are constantly asking questions. So here is about. The answer is about. You have to be patient, space, people, when you are teaching them a foreign language. So you have to be patient with people when you are teaching them a foreign language. Number 12, many people are upset about how the manager handled the situation. Number 13, Fatin is very popular with her classmates. Number 14, the last one, are you serious about moving to New Zealand? So these are prepositions. Now we use them in order to complete the sentences. Now let's move to expressions with come. Look at the extract from the text on page 57. What is the meaning of the expressions in bold? So in bold here means it's written like بالخط العريض، كتبت بالخط العريض حتى تتضح لك. So we need to come to terms with a few truths. As I said, here it means different. It means different. It means to accept. It means to accept. It means to accept. So let's check the answer here. Yes, to accept something. To accept something. Now we have an exercise here says match the expressions in bold with the meaning given. So we have to take care of these expressions that's written in bold and match them with the meaning on your right. So we have A, B, C, D, E. So the first one actually happened. B, to begin to apply. C, to take a position of a leadership or control. D, to be useful. E, to made known. So we need to match them with these expressions that written in bold. That's written in bold. So number one, it later came to light that she had cheated in her math test. So here came to light means everybody knows about her situation, which is cheated in her math test. So the answer here would be ايش يا شباب؟ E. So هنا يعني اتضح أو تبين أنها غشت في اختبار الرياضيات. Number two, it took Mark several months to realize that his dream had finally come true. Had finally come true. So here means actually happened. تحقق الحلم. زين تحقق الحلم. Number three, I turned 17 when the year the president came into power. So here, which means take into power, have a position or become a leader, become a president of something. So the answer is C, to take position of a leadership or control, etc. Number four, this torch will come in handy when we go camping. So here, come in handy, which means become useful, يصبح مفيد. فهنا يتكلم عن التورش اللي هو الشعلة أو الكشاف. So the answer is D, to be useful. Number five, the new anti-smoking law is come into effect next January. So which means here, guys, to be activated, يتفاعل القرار لمنع التدخين أو قانون منع التدخين في يناير القادم. So the answer is B, to begin to apply. بداية التطبيق. The last one for the vocabulary here, guys, idioms. So look at the extract from the text on page 57. What's the meaning of the idiom in bold? So you're supposed to read the article again and figure out the meaning of the idioms in that text. So now and has provided us with some food of thought. So if you try to translate it in Arabic, it might be different, but you have to understand the meaning of it. So something that makes you think carefully. B, match the idioms in bold with their meaning. So we have idioms on the left, we need to match them with their meaning on the right. So A, to be unusual but true. B, something you say to ask someone what they are thinking about. C, a series of thoughts that are connected in some way. D, not real. E, to change your opinion or have doubt about something. So let's check the first one. John is having second thought about moving to Australia. He is not sure if it's right decision for him and his family. So the second thought means he's taking something under consideration. He's not sure about. So the answer here would be E, to change your opinion, or have doubts about something. Number 2, you are very quiet, a penny for your thought. So here it means, can you share something with me? Tell me about, or tell me what are you thinking about. So the answer here be something you say to ask someone what are they thinking about. Number 3, you have interrupted my train of thought, which with all that noise. So train, if you think about the word train, it means قطار, so it doesn't make sense if you want قطار أفكار, doesn't make sense. But here, so if you think about it, it can be like حبل الأفكار. فهنا جت بمعنى أنه قطعت حبل أفكار أو قطعت سلسلة أفكاري. So the answer here C, series of thoughts that are connected in some way. The installation art show has to be seen to be believed. So it has the most amazing exhibits. So here has to be seen to be believed, يعني لا يصدق حتى أن يحضر الموقف أو يحضر المعرض ويشوف بعينه. So the answer here, to be unusual but true. To be unusual but true. So last one, don't be frightened, Sally. The story your brother told you was just to make believe. So here, make believe means imaginary, not true, unreal. So the answer here is what? D. The answer here is what? D. Now, let's move to the second part of the lesson, which is grammar. So, so we have reported speech, reported commands, and request. So let's break it into 3 parts. So the first part, reported speech. We use reported speech to communicate or to tell what someone else said, but without using the exact word. So هنا يجي معناها أنه ننقل كلام أو خطاب شخص آخر بدون ما نستخدم نفس المفردات أو نفس الكلمات. So we have discussed this topic previously in the previous lesson. So today we're going to revise the reported speech and the rest of the points. So look at the sentence below. I will take you to the mall tomorrow. So I'm telling my brother that I will take him to the mall tomorrow. Now my brother wants to tell her friend or his friends about what I have just told him. So he said, my brother told me that he would take me to the mall the next day. So now we want to write the sentence in reported speech. So if you noticed, we have added my brother told me, so that he would take me to the mall the next day. So this is how we rewrite the sentence or to use a reported speech. Then, طيب. But you have to be careful of something, guys. So note, I and you, as you see here, there are what, guys? Pronouns. So they change in reported speech according to the meaning. طبعا يتغير بالمعنى. Also, the time expression. If you notice here, tomorrow becomes the next day. Okay, so again, I changed, and then you changed to me, and then he told me. So you have to be aware of these changes, guys, Again, also, if you noticed the previous lesson, the previous sentence, written, we have changed the modal verb. Well, the modal verb, well into would. Also, you need to take care of the tense. So let's check the table here. So indirect speech means when you say the exact word or the exact word saying by a writer or a speaker, but you use quotation mark اللي هي علامات اتصل. So if the sentence إذا كانت الجملة في المضارع البسيط present simple, in reported speech when you want to report something you have to put it in a past simple. Another one, present progressive, you have to change it to past progressive. Past simple, you have to change it to past perfect simple. Present perfect simple, you have to change it to past perfect simple. بمعنى أنه ترجع خطوة وراء. Take one step back. رجع الجملة للزمن اللي قبلها مباشرة. Will, المودل, would, can, could, must, becomes had to. Becomes had to. So now what's the difference between told and said? Told is followed by a noun or a pronoun. So my brother told me, he اللي هو pronoun جاب بعد مباشرة told. But said, it's not followed by noun. It's not followed by noun or a pronoun. Okay, now we have the second part, which is reported the command and request. Okay, so what is a command? A command that a sentence that starts with a verb. أي جملة تبدأ بفعل. Be quiet. Eat your food. Close the door, etc. All these sentences are commands. طيب. To report a command, we need to add to before the command. So, eat your food is the command. So, my father, you can use told or ask me to the one that we added, eat my food. Eat my food. My father told me to close the door. My father told me to be quiet. My father told me to open the window, etc. What is a request? What is a request? A request is when somebody asks you to do something. لما شخص يطلب منك تنفذ شيء. فإن reported speech, request have done. So مثال, do not eat like this. Usually request في reported speech يكون في إيش? Don't. So do not eat like this. Do not open the door. Do not open the door. Okay? So we report a request the same way we report a command, but the only difference is that we have not. الفرق بينه وبين الكوماند انك تضيف the word not. So if you notice the example, my father, so the sentence, do not eat like this. So my father told me, asked me not to eat like this, not to laugh at my friend, not to be late, not to, etc. نيجي هنا السبيشال introductory verbs, guys. So is when you report a sentence without طبعا تسوي report للجملة بدون ما تستخدم told me, but you can use other phrases. Example, my brother told me that he would take me to the mall next day. This is a sentence already reported. Okay, so here we use told me. نبغى نغير, we can use agreed to. We can use agreed to. So notice, guys, when you try to use a special introductory verbs, we have to follow these strategies. So the first one, verb, so V is the abbreviation of verb, plus full infinitive to be, to plus verb. So agree, claim, demand, offer, promise, etc. So example here, my brother agreed to take me to the mall the next day. Verb plus ing. Accuse somebody of, apologize for, admit to, complain. So my brother suggested taking me to the mall the next day. Verb plus objective, plus object plus infinitive. Advise, allow, ask, beg, order, etc. So my father advised me to sleep early. Advised me to sleep early. V plus that clause. So my brother complained that I never listened to him. I never listened to him. So now let's move very quick to the examples. To the examples. So yes. Read the following examples where the speaker exact words. So these are the sentence already reported, so we need to write them in direct with the exact word of the speaker. So here, they were planning becomes are planning. He was able, I am able, I have made, had made, and then you will feel, and then I can't, behaved. So this is the table that we talked about. Reported command and request. So again, the same thing. We write the sentence with the exact word. So already reported the sentence here. Special introductory verb should do, and then you can check with the grammar reference, guys, and then the sentences here that you have to report, and then we have done the four sentences, and then you need to do the rest. Thank you for your watching, and then enjoy the rest of the day.